Hello and welcome to the Sports Shield podcast. The date is Friday, September 30th, and we have a big week of sports to catch you up on, as well as some looking ahead to this week's NFL action. Let's get it started with the Thursday night football game last night, the Dolphins versus the Bengals. Bengals come out on top, wearing their white uniforms looking fire.
Yeah, I love them. I think it was a very good choice now with advancing helmet technology for them to be able to change the helmet shells. That was the biggest concern and why it hasn't happened before. But these white jerseys with the white helmets is one of the best jersey combos we've seen for years.
Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense put up 27 points last night on the Miami secondary. It's good to see them backfiring on all cylinders after a little bit of a slow start to the season, right?
Yeah, it's impressive to see that of what the Bengals did against that strong Dolphins secondary. I mean, they have a lot of stars back there, and it was incredible what he did.
Yeah, when he's throwing to Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and D. Higgins, he's got a lot of options.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're going to see a lot more of. A lot more teams are going to start to copy the Bengals and trying to get three good receivers because one of those always has to be open. And if you have a field manager quarterback who knows to take his time in the pocket and find one of those downfield, it's an unstoppable offense.
And Burrow's accuracy, you just can't stop them if they get firing. A scary scene last night as Tua Tagovailoa was transported to the Miami hospital with an apparent head or neck injury. He pulled off the field on a stretcher with his teammates surrounding him on the field. Kind of scary, especially since last week he was briefly pulled out of the game when he had concussion symptoms after a hit to the head.
Yeah, I definitely think it's scary. I think it's a little bit weird that they rushed him back into the game last week and even possibly this week they're rushing him back in to try and play another game, especially on a short 4-day week. I think it was a little bit risky, but I hope all is well with him. I really like Tua, and I really hope the best for him.
Prayers to the Tagovailoa family. It's sad for the NFL, too, since Tua so far have been performing as one of the brightest young stars the NFL had. So,
yeah, he's really stepped into his own this year. Jalen Waddle in his second season, the huge addition of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. All right, let's look forward to some picks. We got the hometown team, Bears versus Giants. This is going to be a good game for the Bears. The Bears have another kind of soft opponent.
Yeah, it's going to be another soft opponent. The Bears might have an opportunity to improve to 3-1. They are at the Giants, so MetLife can be a little bit rowdy of a stadium sometimes, to say the least. So that definitely can give the advantage to the Giants. But I really don't think the Giants have been amazing this year, and I think this is going to be another, like it was last week for the Bears, another nose to the grindstone rushing game, especially with Khalil Herbert showing his stardom last week and how he's great. Really think it's going to be pretty impressive, and it's going to be a lot of rushing from both sides. And it's going to be a quick game because that clock will not stop running.
Yeah, two elite rushing teams with Saquon Barkley and David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert. I'm going to go with the Bears. I think that the Bears front seven can do enough to slow down Saquon, and that the Bears secondary gets a few picks off Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you up. Same thing, Zach. I'm going to take the Bears here. I think Roquan Smith is going to be all over the field if he is healthy. There was a little bit of him on the injury report so far this week, and hopefully he's back practicing today. But if they have Roquan Smith, he will be all over the place tackling every single player on that field like we saw last week.
Yep. Bills versus Ravens. This should be a good game with much more high-powered offenses. Josh Allen going up against Lamar Jackson, two early season MVP candidates, both mobile quarterbacks who have absolute cannons attached to their right shoulder.
Yeah, both teams are high-flying offenses. Defenses have looked a little shaky so far this season from both teams. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Left and right, we are going to see points being scored. I classify this as my must-watch game of the week, and I'm going to take the Ravens on this one. I'm a huge Lamar fan, and I think he's going to show that he's truly special, and he's going to be working for that money today. So
I'm going to go with Bills and Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen has that clutch gene that he's going to come through late in the game when the Bills need it, and I don't see the Ravens being able to do that as much. I think with Stephon Diggs, he's just going to be running free through that Ravens secondary, no matter how good the corner is that they put on him.
Okay. I see you're trying to get a little Marlon Humphrey here, or is it just too much Stephon Diggs love? I think Marlon Humphrey's going to lock up Stephon Diggs this week. I'm going to tell you that right now.
125 receiving yards.
Oh, it's going to be way less than that.
Jaguars, Eagles. The Jaguars are in first place in the AFC South, which is pretty impressive considering what they did last year under Urban Meyer. But Trevor Lawrence has really stepped up his game, and he's coming in to face off against another MVP candidate, and Jalen Hurts, who's been playing really well this year for the Eagles.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence has been the best second-year quarterback so far. It's pretty obvious. Two of them are injured, and one of them is Justin Fields, and the other one is Davis Mills. So a lot of competition there, to say the least. But I'm going to take the Jaguars on this one. I think they're going to put an end to this Eagles' reign of terror so far, and I think that it's going to be a true showing that the Jaguars are back to that Jacksonville phase. I think they have all the key pieces. They're a very young team. I'm looking forward to seeing this game play out.
I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. You say that it's Jacksonville, but they're not going to be able to catch up to Jalen Hurts. Every time they rush him, he's just going to escape and gain 5 to 6 yards. And I think the Eagles' defense and secondary is going to be able to contain Jacksonville's young receivers. So I think it'll be a close game, but give me the Eagles on top in this one.
Okay, so next up is Chiefs versus Bucks.
A little Sunday Night Football action. Mahomes going and playing Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty crazy game out there. I think it'll actually be low scoring, surprisingly. Even when Patrick Mahomes is at the helm, you never hear it's going to be a low scoring game with Patrick Mahomes. But Bucks have had low scoring games so far. Their defense has been pretty good, but their offense has not been it. They've been struggling to find receivers because they've been injured or suspended. But I am going to take the Chiefs on this one. Patrick Mahomes, as Zack said earlier about Josh Allen, I think Patrick Mahomes is Josh Allen, but better. He has that clutch gene inside of him, and he's going to show his magic.
Yeah, Tom Brady has not been good this year. If the Bucks want to win this game, he's really going to have to step it up. But I think that in the end, Mahomes and Kelsey just are too much for the Bucks defense. It'll be I think the Chiefs are going to run up the score in this one.
Okay, so now into baseball. Aaron Judge hit 61, tying, I believe, was Roger Clement's record.
Roger Maris, good try.
Maris, close.
That record has stood for 61 years, ironically, since Roger Maris hit his 61st in 1961. And if he hits one more, Aaron Judge will set the American League single-season home run record, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I think it's really crazy to see that in this new era, which has had pitchers becoming even better and better, that somebody's been able to hit 61 home runs. I mean, I think he's the obvious MVP in the AL.
And what a storybook season for baseball. Aaron Judge is going to tie and maybe break the single-season home run record. Albert Pujols hit his 700th home run after going on an amazing hot streak. Miguel Cabrera got his 3,000th hit earlier this season. And we're really at the end of the regular season here. The Dodgers, the Astros, the Mets, Braves, Cardinals, Guardians, Yankees, and Blue Jays have all clinched wild card spot or playoff berths, and the playoffs start in a week. So it's going to get really exciting. We got one huge series coming up with the Mets versus the Braves in Atlanta. They're playing 3 games to determine who's going to win the NL East.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very crazy series to watch. This is our first look into playoff baseball so far for this season. Very competitive matchups.
Yeah, it'll be good to see. And yeah, that's all we have for you today. We'll be back on Monday to catch you up on the weekend in sports.